continue across the country to maintain law and order. Operation Devil Hunt to continue till elimination of terrorists, says Home Advisor. Operation Devil Hunt aimed at arresting those trying to create instability. Joint forces work with magistracy power, says Home Secretary. Bangladesh economy has turned around. Inflation will come down to 7.5% by July, experts observed. EC to hold free, fair and credible elections with cooperations from all, says CEC. Egypt to host Arab summit on Gaza crisis on February 27, with stresses on bilateral solution. And in goal, Australia win the Test series, beating Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in the second and last match. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV News. I am Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the details of those and other stories. More than 1,000 people were arrested across the country in Operation Devil Hunt. The joint forces kicked off the operation at 12 midnight last night to detain terrorists. Members of the army have set up checkposts at different important spots in the capital and vehicles are being searched. In Chattogram city, law enforcers have installed checkposts at different important points and vehicles are being checked. Members of the army are patrolling in the city. In Ghazipur, the joint forces started searching vehicles after the evening on Saturday. The army has set up a checkpost in front of the DC office. Operation Devil Hunt is also underway in different districts to detain terrorists. Meanwhile, Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry said Operation Devil Hunt will continue until terrorists are eliminated. He said this while speaking to reporters after inaugurating new Mrittika Bhavan in the capital's Kamarbari today. The Home Advisor also said those who are making efforts to destabilize the country will be arrested during this drive. Replying to a question about the measures taken against those involved in the attack on the student people in Ghazipur, he said many of those who attacked the students and the public in Ghazipur have been brought to book. The rest will soon be exposed to justice. Later, at a press briefing at the Secretariat in the afternoon, Senior Secretary at the Home Ministry, Nasimul Ghani, said the Joint Forces Operation Devil Hunt is aimed at arresting those trying to make the country unstable. He said law enforcers will work with magistracy power relating to the Operation Devil Hunt. He said they have briefed all the forces so that they can carry out the operation in a focused way by maintaining law and order and protecting their human rights. The families of some martyrs of July uprising met the Chief Advisor, Professor Muhammad Yunus. The meeting was held at the State Guest House, Jamuna, on Sunday. The meeting discussed various issues including the trial of the killings of the July mass uprising, the formation of July mass uprising directorate, state honor and recognition of the injured and martyred families, financial assistance and rehabilitation. The Chief Advisor listened to the expectations of the families of the martyrs and highlighted the ongoing activities of the government as well as the future plans of the government.
এমন ভাবে আমরা করতে চাই যাতে দেশের মানুষ তোমাদের এবং তোমাদের সন্তানদের তোমাদের ভাই বোনদের কোনো রকমের যেন ভুলতে না পারে এটা আমরা চেষ্টা করব যে এটুকু মনের মধ্যে গেঁথে দেওয়া না হলে এটা এই পুরো আন্দোলন সার্থক হলো না এরই যদি ভুলে গেলাম তাহলে কি করলাম একদিন ধরে এটা আমরা করতে থাকবো কাজে আমাদের সম্মানটা প্রতিফলিত হবে তোমাদের সম্মানের মাধ্যমে এটা আমরা পরিষ্কার এটা নিয়ে সন্দেহ করার কোনো কারণ নাই নিয়ে পরিষ্কার করা তারপরে একদিনে এটা সমস্যার সমাধান হয়ে যাবে না কিন্তু আমরা ছাড়বো না ধাপে 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 যতদূর নিয়ে যেতে পারি আমরা নিয়ে যাব এটাই হলো আমাদের কমিটমেন্টটা হলো সেটা যে আমরা আছি এটার পেছনে তোমাদেরকে ছেড়ে আমরা কোথাও যাব না
Information and Broadcasting Advisor Nahid Islam and one of the organizers of the July Uprising, Sarjis Alam, among others, were present. Later, Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus have exchanged greetings with July martyred family members. Bangladesh's economy has turned around in the last 5 months. The economy has improved by 10%. This information was given at a meeting on Economy of Bangladesh, Recent Challenges and Future Steps held with Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus in the chair at the Chief Advisor's office in the capital today. Later, the Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam briefed reporters at the Foreign Service Academy about the details of the meeting. He said the meeting was informed that inflation will come down to 7.5% in July. Inflation pressures will not increase during the month of Ramadan. The Chief Advisor said the autonomy of the central bank should be ensured. He said those who are involved in bank robbery against whom there are specific allegations should be brought under the law quickly. The meeting was informed that 9 lakh tons of food grains will be imported this year to keep the stock and supply normal. The amount of subsidy for payment of areas in the power sector has been increased from 40,000 crore to 62,000 crore taka. Various activities are being taken to control subsidy by reducing the production cost without increasing the price of electricity at the consumer level. As a result, it will be possible to reduce the cost by about 10% this year. The second quarter of the current fiscal year, Bangladesh's export volume increased by about 9.67% to $26.39 billion compared to the same period of the previous year. The meeting was informed that a total of $15.96 billion remittance came in the July-January period of the current fiscal year, which is 23.6% higher than the same period of the previous fiscal year. The Press Secretary said the Central Command Center has been opened from today to keep the law and order situation normal. He hoped that the law and order situation would improve soon. Shafiqul Alam said land-related complications have been resolved for the construction of Korean episodes in Bangladesh.
কমান্ড সেন্টারটা তার কাজ শুরু করছে। আশা করছি যে এর ফলে বাংলাদেশে আইন শৃঙ্খলা পরিস্থিতি আরো উন্নত হবে এবং খুব কুইক রেসপন্স করা যাবে। পুরো জায়গায় যদি দেখা যায় যে কোনো আইন শৃঙ্খলা পরিস্থিতির অবনতি হওয়ার একটা আশঙ্কা হচ্ছে, সেখানে এই কুইক রেসপন্স করবেন তারা। কোরিয়ান ইপিজেডের একটা জমি নিয়ে অনেক দিন সমস্যা ছিল, তো আমাদের এই প্রথম একটা বড় চ্যালেঞ্জ ছিল যে এই কোরিয়ান ইপিজেডের যে ল্যান্ডের সমস্যাটা যে করে হোক এটা ঠিক করতে হবে। এবং আমরা কোরিয়ান ইপিজেডকে আমরা কথা দিয়েছিলাম 6ই ফেব্রুয়ারির মধ্যে তাদের যে ল্যান্ডের যে সমস্যাগুলো এটা দূরীভূত হবে এবং আমরা ঠিক 6ই ফেব্রুয়ারি তাদের হাতে তাদের ল্যান্ডের মিউটেশন পেপার সমস্ত কিছু তাদের হাতে হস্তান্তর দিয়ে এখানে এখন আর কোরিয়ান ইপিজেডের কোনো ধরনের কোনো সমস্যা নাই। বাংলাদেশের ইকোনমি ঘুরে দাঁড়িয়েছে, খুব ভালোভাবে ঘুরে দাঁড়িয়েছে। আমরা দেখছি যে ইকোনমির যেগুলো কি ইন্ডিকেটরস যেগুলো সেগুলো স্পষ্টভাবে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে ইকোনমি ঘুরে দাঁড়িয়েছে। চিফ অ্যাডভাইজার সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংকের গভর্নরকে বলেছেন যে বাংলাদেশ ব্যাংকের অটোনমি যত দ্রুত এটা যাতে করা হয়। সেন্ট্রাল ব্যাংকের গভর্নর বলেছেন যে উনি এটা নিয়ে কাজ করছেন। প্রফেসর ইউনূস বলেছেন যারা যারা এই যে ব্যাংক ডাকাতির সাথে জড়িত, যাদের বিরুদ্ধে সুনির্দিষ্ট অভিযোগ আছে, তাদেরকে খুব দ্রুত আইনের আওতায় আনার কথা বলেছেন।
Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has urged Uruguay to build the people-to-people connectivity through sports, leading to increased bilateral engagements in different fields, including trade and business cooperation. The Chief Advisor made the call when the non-resident ambassador of Uruguay to Bangladesh, Alberto A. Guani, had a courtesy meeting with him at the State Guest House Jamuna in Dhaka today. Ambassador Guani told the Chief Advisor that Uruguay and Bangladesh have many areas of cooperation unexplored which can hold tremendous potential for the two countries. It is commendable Bangladesh being the pioneer to the world in social business, he said. The ambassador highlighted more in connectivity between Bangladesh and South America and emphasized bridging the gap between the two countries. The chief advisor invited the ambassador to explore investment opportunities in Bangladesh to promote in his country. He also showed his enthusiasm towards renewable and clean energy cooperation that Uruguay promotes. Principal Coordinator for SDG Affairs, Lamia Murshid, and officials of the Chief Advisor's Office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, among others, were present in the meeting. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus today unveiled a commemorative postage stamp of Taka 10, an inaugural envelope of Taka 10, a data card of Taka 5, and a special consular to honor and memorialize the July Uprising 2024. This postage stamp releasing ceremony was held at the State Guest House Jamuna this evening. Post and Telecommunications Advisor Mohammad Nahid Islam, Secretary of the Post and Telecommunications Division Dr. Mohammad Mushikur Rahman, and Director General of the Directorate of Posts and Additional Duty SM Shahabuddin were present. The theme of the postage stamp depicts the spontaneous preparation of women in the July Uprising and highlights the role of women in accelerating the movement. Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin has said that with everyone's cooperation, the nation will be gifted a free and fair election at the stipulated time. He made the remarks this morning while speaking at the RFED Media Award ceremony at the Election Commission. The CEC said he wants to work with a neutral role. The Election Commission will act according to its commitments, mentioning that a free, fair and neutral election is not possible for the Election Commission alone. AMM Nasiruddin sought cooperation from all in this regard. He also said that various problems will arise and the Election Commission will move forward by resolving those. Election Commission is taking proper preparations for upcoming elections, says BNP Standing Committee member Nazrul Islam Khan today. He said this while exchanging views with journalists after a meeting with the CEC and election commissioners at EC office in Agargaon. Besides Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin, Election Commissioners Anurul Islam Shorkar, Abdur Rahman Masood, Begum Tahmida Ahmed and Brigadier General Retired Abul Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah, as well as EC Secretary Akhtar Ahmed, participated in the meeting. The delegation, led by Standing Committee member Nazrul Islam Khan, also included Standing Committee members Salahuddin Ahmed and Salima Rahman. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus is going to the United Arab Emirates on February 11 on a three-day visit to join the government's Summit 2025 in Dubai. Foreign Ministry spokesman Mohammad Rafiqul Alam made the disclosure at a briefing at the ministry today. He informed that the Chief Advisor will attend the summit at the invitation of Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of UAE and ruler of Dubai. Combating various global challenges and Bangladesh's stance on various issues will be highlighted in the summit. Besides, at the same time, there is possibility of bilateral meetings between the Chief Advisor and different heads of states and governments. Meanwhile, Indian Foreign Ministry's statement relating to Bangladesh-India relations on 6 February has drawn attention of the interim government. Foreign Ministry spokesman Mohammad Rafiqul Alam says. He said the Indian Foreign Ministry's statement on internal issues of Bangladesh is not only unexpected but also undesirable. Bangladesh never gave any statement when its neighboring country faced internal inclement situation. He said, adding, Bangladesh also expects the same behavior from others. Finance advisor Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed has said interim government cannot perform tough and complex reform, but it wants to leave the footsteps. He said this while exchanging views with the journalists of Bangladesh Secretariat reported the program BSRF titled Role of Remittance in the Economy of Bangladesh in Dhaka today. Conceding some failures of the interim government, finance advisor said in spite of having desire, interim government cannot do everything. BSRF President Fahishuddin presided over the meeting, while General Secretary of the organization, Masood al-Haq, moderated the function.
জুলাই বিপ্লবে গণতন্ত্র, মানবাধিকার এবং ন্যায় বিচার পুনরুদ্ধারে নেতৃত্ব দিয়েছেন, জীবন উৎসর্গ করেছেন ছাত্র তরুণরা। নতুন বাংলাদেশ গড়ার লক্ষ্যে যুব ও ক্রীড়া মন্ত্রণালয়ের উদ্যোগে দেশব্যাপী চলছে তারুণ্যের উৎসব 2025। দেশের যুব সমাজকে ঐক্যবদ্ধ করার লক্ষ্যে এসো দেশ বদলাই, পৃথিবী বদলাই প্রতিপাদ্য সামনে রেখে চলছে তারুণ্যের উৎসব। বাংলাদেশ কাবাডি ফেডারেশন আয়োজন করছে অনূর্ধ্ব-18 যুব কাবাডি প্রতিযোগিতা। 20 থেকে 23 জানুয়ারি উপজেলা পর্যায়ে, 25 থেকে 29 জানুয়ারি জেলা পর্যায়ে এবং 3 থেকে 8 ফেব্রুয়ারি বিভাগীয় পর্যায়ে হবে এই প্রতিযোগিতা। সারা দেশ থেকে বাছাই করা সেরা খেলোয়াড়রা 8টি জোনে ভাগ হয়ে 12 থেকে 18 ফেব্রুয়ারি ঢাকার পল্টন ময়দানে লড়বে জাতীয় পর্যায়ে। তারুণ্যের উৎসবে আপনি মেতে উঠুন কাবাডির সাথে।
And now international news. Egypt will host a summit of Arab nations on February 27 to discuss the latest serious developments concerning the Palestinian territory, its foreign ministry said in a statement on Sunday. The emergency Arab summit comes as Egypt has been rallying regional support against US President Donald Trump's plan to relocate Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to Egypt and Jordan, while establishing US control over the coastal territory. Sunday's statement said the gathering was called after extensive consultations by Egypt at the highest levels with Arab countries in recent days, including Palestine, which requested the summit to address the latest serious developments regarding the Palestinian cause. That included coordination with Bahrain, which currently chairs the Arab League, the statement said. On Friday, Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati spoke with regional partners including Jordan, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates to shore up opposition to any forced displacement of Palestinians from their land. Last week, Trump floated the idea of US administration over Gaza, envisioning rebuilding the devastated territory into the Riviera of the Middle East after resettling Palestinians elsewhere, namely Egypt and Jordan. The remarks have prompted global backlash, and Arab countries have firmly rejected the proposal, insisting on a two-state solution with an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has hailed US President Donald Trump's widely criticized plan to move Palestinians out of the war-battered Gaza Strip, saying Israel is willing to do the job. In a Fox News interview aired late Saturday, as the premier was wrapping up a visit to Washington, Netanyahu defended Trump's proposal, which has sparked concern and condemnation across the Middle East and the world. I think that President Trump's proposal is the first fresh idea in years, and it has the potential to change everything in Gaza, Netanyahu said, adding that it represents a correct approach to the future of the Palestinian territory. Israel seized the Gaza Strip in 1967 and maintained a military presence in the territory until 2005, when it pulled out settlers and its troops. It subsequently imposed a crippling blockade on the Hamas-ruled territory and placed it under siege after the war began in October 2023. Dozens of people were killed in southern Mexico after a passenger bus collided head-on with a truck, the government of Tabasco State said in a statement yesterday. Reuters said 41 people were killed, 38 passengers, 2 bus drivers and the truck driver. The passenger bus was traveling between Mexico's Caribbean coast resort city of Cancun and Tabasco when it collided with a cargo truck. What is known about the crash? The collision occurred near Escarcega in the southern state of Campeche, around 1,000 kilometers from the capital Mexico City. The crash took place at around 2:45 a.m. local time, according to bus operator Tours Acosta's post on Facebook. The company said it profoundly regrets what happened, adding that it was working with authorities to determine the cause of the accident. Chinese rescuers searched for some 30 people after a landslide Saturday in southwestern Sichuan province buried 10 houses and forced hundreds of residents to evacuate. The Ministry of Emergency Management deployed hundreds of rescuers, including firefighters, following the landslide in a village in Junlian County. 2 people were pulled out alive and about 200 others were relocated. State broadcaster CCTV said this today. A villager told Beijing News that rocks were frequently seen rolling down the mountain since the second half of 2024, in some cases making sounds similar to firecrackers. The villager said geologists had inspected the area late last year, the state-run newspaper reported. President Xi Jinping expressed his concern and urged authorities to make every effort to search for the missing people and minimize casualties, the official Xinhua news agency reported. Chinese Premier Li Qiang asked for an investigation and inspection of potential geological hazard risks in nearby areas. Li also said residents who were under threat should be evacuated to prevent another disaster, according to Xinhua. The National Development and Reform Commission has allocated $6.9 million from the central budget to support the emergency restoration of infrastructure and public service facilities. Indian security forces gunned down 31 Maoists in an encounter in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur district today. The encounter began deep inside the forest in the Indravati National Park area when a security team was conducting an anti-Maoist operation. 2 security personnel have been killed in the gunfight. According to a government statement, 2 security personnel have also been injured. They are out of danger and have been evacuated for treatment. The encounter broke out when the rebels faced off with a joint team comprising security personnel from the District Reserve Group, Special Task Force and Bastard Fighter Force. Following the gunfight, the forces found the bodies of 31 rebels in fatigues. They also recovered a large number of firearms, including AK-47 rifles, self-loading rifles and INSAs, and grenade launchers. Explosives were also recovered. A magnitude 7.6 quake rattled the Caribbean Sea on Saturday, about 130 miles off the coast of the Cayman Islands, triggering tsunami warnings, U.S. monitoring agencies said. The U.S. tsunami warning system said waves as high as nearly 10 feet were possible in some coastal areas of Cuba, while waves of up to 3 feet could hit Honduras and the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands government warned in a message on its website residents living near the coastline are encouraged to move inland. After initially warning of tsunami threats to more than a dozen countries, the U.S. government monitor later cancelled all but 3 of its alerts, but said small sea level changes may occur. The tumbler struck at a shallow depth, the U.S. Geological Survey said. Back to home news. Primary and Mass Education Advisor Professor Dr. Bidhan Ranjan Roy Poddar said that the first task of the government is to build the children skilled in mother language. The advisor was speaking as chief guest at a discussion on artificial intelligence, individuality of human power, protection and prosperity in the age of education mechanization in the capital today. Bangladesh UNESCO National Commission and UNESCO Dhaka have jointly organized the program marking the International Education Day at International Mother Language Institute Auditorium. Siddiq Zubair, Senior Secretary of the Secondary and Higher Secondary Education Division, presided over the discussion meeting. Among others, Professor Dr. M. Aminul Islam, Special Assistant of Education Ministry, Professor Dr. Mohammad Saidur Rahman, Member of Bangladesh University Grants Commission, and Abu Tahir Muhammad Masood Rana, Secretary of the Primary and Mass Education Ministry, spoke on the occasion. A month-long Omur Ekushe book fair entered its 9th day today. Every day, new books arrive at the fair. So far, the fair has seen an increase in the sales of books. The unveiling of books has been centered around a creative festival atmosphere. Along with fiction and non-fiction books, the demand for research-related books this year has raised expectations for the intellectuals. Although there were not many visitors in the morning, that number continued to rise as the day went on. The book fair witnessed a huge crowd from the noon and the sales were satisfactory. And now weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Mild cold wave is sweeping over Rajshahi and Maulavi Bazar and it may abate. Light to moderate fog may occur over the country during late night to early morning. Night and day temperature may rise by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius over the country. Country's lowest temperature was recorded today 8.5 degrees Celsius at Srimongol, and capital Dhaka's lowest temperature was recorded 16.2 degrees Celsius. And now sports news. A clinical Australia beat host Sri Lanka by 9 wickets on day 4 to win the two-match Test Series 2-0 in Galle today. The victory sealed Australia's first series win in Sri Lanka since 2011. Sri Lanka resumed on 211 for 8 and Australia took just 25 minutes to grab Sri Lanka's final 2 second innings wickets, dismissing the host for 231. Chasing a target of 75 was a smooth sailing for the visitors as they cruised to victory, losing opener Travis Head only for 20. Usman Khawaja was unbeaten on 27 and Marnus Labuschagne was not out on 26. Australia won the first test by an innings and 242 runs. Both the teams now change the gears for the two-match one-day series starting from Wednesday. Bangladesh Football Federation announced a 38-member preliminary squad for AFC Asian Cup 2025 qualifiers against India today. Two expatriate football English Premier League outfit, Sheffield United midfielder Hamza Chowdhury and Fahmidul Islam, 18-year-old left back from Oblia Calcio of Italy, has been included in this squad. Among the 38, there are 14 players from champions Bosundara Kings, while Abahondi Limited has 8 players. National coach Xavier Cabrera welcomed Hamza and Fahmid's inclusion on the squad. With their inclusion, he believed that Bangladesh will be strengthened further and will be a different team in the field. To end the bulletin headlines once again. More than 1,000 arrested as joint forces Operation Devil Hunt continue across the country to maintain law and order. Operation Devil Hunt to continue till elimination of terrorists, says Home Advisor. Operation Devil Hunt aimed at arresting those trying to create instability. Joint forces work with magistracy power, says Home Secretary. Bangladesh economy has turned around. Inflation will come down to 7.5% by July, experts observed. EC to hold free, fair and credible elections with cooperations from all, says CEC. Egypt to the stresses on bilateral solution. And in Galle, Australia win the Test series, beating Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in the second and last match. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Our next bulletin is coming up at midnight.